Hey guys, I just wanted to discuss something really quickly before I made the official post. So the next video topic that we're going to be covering will still be in regard to nitric oxide, but most importantly, we're going to talk about every single major neurotransmitter, and also take into consideration that amino acids also play a very important role in neurotransmission. Some of you may not know this, but the precursors to neuromodulators and neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin and also nitric oxide are synthesized via amino acid metabolism. The amino acids that are broken down from a complete protein, so we're thinking red meat, eggs, and milk, those contain full proteins. That's very much unlike eating beans as your main protein source. So we can get kind of fringe on this topic and really sort of detest the idea that there are other dietary fads that don't consist of red meat, milk, and eggs. And we could kind of say like, hey, since these don't contain a full amino acid profile, it's probably not the best diet to be engaging in. And that's not me talking. That's the literature talking, right? And, that's really disappointing because a lot of people get told that one particular diet, because it contains more leafy greens and more fruits, and it's nice to think about the animals and animal rights in regard to how we're butchering them and how we're eating them and how we're throwing them into a manufacturing plant to then get processed and packaged up so that we can have that particular food on our dinner plates. I know it's really disappointing, but if you want to be a healthy human being, and if you want to properly function in day-to-day tasks that require cognitive effort, and this is putting aside that protein is just used for muscle synthesis. It's not just used for that. When a protein is broken down into one of the 20 essential or non-essential amino acids, they're used as neurotransmitters. They're used as precursors to neurotransmitters. They're used as precursors to the most important neurotransmitters. It's not like, the neurotransmitter / neuromodulator histamine, that's important for vasodilation and immune function and whatnot. Right. But we're not talking about histamine. We're talking about dopamine. We're talking about serotonin. We're talking about the key functions for individuals to move and prosper throughout life. If you're missing a complete amino acid profile by neglecting particular foods to eat, and you're emphasizing other dietary means that don't support the full amino acid profile. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't done too much research on vegetables and alternative pathways to getting in your protein. But if it's not red meat, if it's not milk, if it's not eggs, then it's not worth it. If that's a source of protein that you're going for, because like I said, it goes beyond muscle synthesis. We're going beyond the muscle here, and we're thinking about your brain. And you know, like I'm no neuroscientist, and this is unscripted. This is not a scripted episode. I'm not a neuroscientist, and this is a conversation that I was having with one of my friends last night, was that you need amino acids, and you need to emphasize the complete amino acid profile if you really care about your health. Now, I'm gonna get off of my high horse here, but that's something I really wanted to reiterate, was there are neuromodulators and there are neurotransmitters. Both of them require and are completely dependent on your amino acid intake. That is very much unlike, and you know, I don't want to say like, oh, don't worry about getting your fat intake, don't worry about glucose intake. All that stuff gets metabolized, right? All that stuff gets metabolized for energy and ATP, and those are important processes as well. But I think we're really overlooking as a society, as just like the regular layman, we're very much neglecting the opportunity to really capitalize on, hey, what has a full, complete 20 amino acid profile and what does not? And if it does not, it might not be worth your time. Thank you very much for listening. This is Science for the Uninitiated. I know I changed the channel name for a little bit, but it's going back to Science for the Uninitiated. So thank you so much. There's going to be an official video on this, and it's going to be a complete breakdown of every single neurotransmitter that's important to the human function, and we're going to dive into a little bit on the topic of some neurological disorders that happen from not having the right neurotransmitters and not intaking the proper diet to then support those structures as well. We'll dive into tryptophan, we'll dive into L-tyrosine, we'll dive into serotonin and dopamine. It's going to be a really fun conversation. Thank you very much. This is a sneak peek to the next video.